Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Binman. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up because today we are taking inspiration from Wednesday's book talk, which was The Bone Shard War, and we are kind of taking inspiration from the cover and putting it on our face, so stay tuned. I've already washed my face and done my skincare, so let's get started by neutralizing the face. First, I'm going to take my Corrector from Bobbi Brown, and I'm actually going to use a brush this time. So I'm just going to swirl my 57 around and just bounce that brush anywhere where I'm seeing any kind of discoloration. Using a brush, using a sponge, anything besides your fingers can give you a little bit of a lighter application, which can sometimes be nice if you feel like you've been a little heavy-handed lately. I'm also going to bring that up onto the top of my lid as well, just to get rid of any discoloration that's happening up there. Using a brush can also help you get into more specific zones as well. If you feel like you just have, a little bit of redness in very specific spots, sometimes it can bleed out a little bit if you're using your fingers instead of a brush. So now I'm going to prep the eyes by using black Treacle from Eldridge, just lifting and getting that black right along that lash line. And because we are doing a liner lip look, I am going to jump right into complexion using the Seamless Skin from Eldridge. Now this is a combination of shades 9 and 11 that I blended together from the summer. Shade 11 was working really well on stage. Shade 9 feels very, very much like my skin tone in normal life, but together they create something really, really lovely. And I'm just blending that out with the #1 brush from Eldridge. And you can see any discoloration that was on my face is completely disappeared. So it's a really nice coverage foundation, and I'm just going really lightly over the skin, kind of patting wherever I need to, and then using brush strokes when I want to blend out a little bit more. So patting where you want more coverage or where you're by a delicate area, and then using brush strokes when you just want to blend that product out. The next thing I'm going to do is fill in my brows. So this is the Brow Definer in Ash Brown from Anastasia. I always like to start wherever I see any sparse spots. I'm going in the same direction as my brow hair naturally grows, and I'm just doing a quick fill-in because, again, the look is all about this really fun purple lip and then doing a liner, a graphic liner. So I don't want to take away from that. I just want a nice, natural, healthy looking brow. So then I'm going to use this spoolie on the other end to comb through and soften that up if I need to. Next, I'm going to take the Hollywood Contour Wand and go right underneath my cheekbone with just a little bit of product. I don't want to go too heavy, even though I am wearing black. Sometimes when you're wearing black, you can go a little bit heavier if you want to, because black can kind of take away from the skin's natural highlight and contour. But because this is kind of an everyday, and again, I just want to support what's going to happen with the lips and with the liner, I don't want it to become about the sculpting. The sculpting is just supporting the other things that we're doing on the face. Sometimes the sculpting is the star of the show, or the skin is the star of the show. But in this case, it's just a supporting role. And you can see that just gives me a little bit more definition. Now, if you feel like maybe you went overboard, you can always take kind of a finishing brush, a foundation brush, something that doesn't have anything on it, and really just bounce that brush wherever you need to. You can also take a sponge and do the exact same thing. Now, normally I would go in with a blush right now, but first we're gonna do the lips. So we've prepped the face, everything's feeling really good, really nice and ready. Now we need to jump into the lips. I'm doing the lips first instead of the liner because the eye look is very basic. The eye look is also supporting the lip look. So I'm gonna start with the 1C from Eldridge. I'm just gonna line my lips, and then I'm going to fill in. The 1C is pretty close to my natural lip color, so the bottom lip is filled in, the top lip is not. So as any color fades throughout the day, it will fade into this lip liner, which again is very close to my natural lip tone. So now we are going in with New Wave, which is definitely purple, and it works really nicely when we're grabbing our inspiration from the cover of the Bone Shard War. Make sure you check out the book talk from Wednesday to know what I'm talking about, but it is really fun to grab inspiration from lots of different places, from other makeup artists, but also from things like book covers or art in general. Now you might be wondering why I used 1C instead of something that matches the New Wave a little bit more. The honest answer is I don't have a purple lip liner, but a better answer is that again, as this fades away throughout the day, it is going to have something to hold on to because I've already put a layer of something on my lips. I didn't have any lip balm or lip gloss on top, so this should make it a long wearing lipstick last even longer. It will fade away to more of my natural looking tone rather than going through this funny purple, no purple thing. It's gonna fade into the lip liner that I already did. If you've been with me for a while, then you know that I love to take a lipstick and put it on my cheeks, especially when it's a different color than I probably have. I don't know about you, but I don't have any purple blush, although it's not a bad idea. So you can either go directly onto your cheek, but because this is a longer wearing lipstick, I wanted to put it on the back of my hand because I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to behave on the lips. Now I'm going to take my highlighter from Lisa, I'm going to roll that. So I have two separate things on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to combine them just with my finger, and all of a sudden you have this really pretty cream blush. So that's what it looks like on the back of my hand. I have a little bit on my finger already, and I'm very, very lightly going to start blending that out. I will probably jump to a tool. I'm actually going to go in with my 55 because this has great buffing motion, and I don't want a ton of products hanging out on my cheeks. I don't want people to get distracted by the makeup. I just want it to be very complimentary, especially since I'm already wearing a different color on my lips. It is noticeable, it does draw a little bit of attention, but hopefully everything will be speaking to each other very, very nicely, and it won't be quite so distracting. So now we are ready to move on to the eyes, and I brought down some MAC shadows, so we're going to be working over here in this area. This is Floof, Finjin, Embark, and Kid, and you can see that Kid is almost all the way gone. I'm going to start with my 201 in Kid. I'm going to saturate it as much as I possibly can because this is going to be our building base for the eye look. So I'm just going to start very, very lightly brushing that on the outer third of my eye, and then I'm going to sweep it all the way in because I want Floof to have something to hold on to. Plus I did put that corrector on top, and this is going to help just kind of set that corrector and make sure that nothing's moving around. I also know in the back of my head that I haven't done concealer yet, so I can always use my concealer to kind of clean up any edges that I might need to after I do my liquid liner. I'm going to jump to my 217 into Finjin, and I'm just going to build up a little bit of that sculpting into the socket, into the crease, so that things don't get lost. And then we're going to pop the lid with a little bit of Floof. I can always go back in and build that out with Embark if I really need to. So now I'm going to take my 203, go into Floof, take a little bit off on the back of my hand, and place that right on the ball of the eye, but you can see how powerful Floof is. It's a really great one for just kind of highlighting, but if it feels like it's too much, take your 217 that has that Finjin on it and maybe even a little bit of Kid, and just start to blend all those together, and then it won't feel quite so floofy. So now I'm going to take my liquid liner, Stila Stay All Day, and I'm just going to follow my lower lash line and basically create another lash, and then draw that back in and create that triangle. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll finish drawing in. I'm going to take my Sigma brush, that is a small angled brush, and go right on top of what I just did, just to soften it give it a little bit more longevity and take down some of that black as well. I'm also going to take Embark all the way into that inner corner so that we complete our line. And then we are ready for mascara. I'm going to use my Dior Overcurl. This is the refill. It doesn't have the casing and it works just fine. So I'm going to get right up into my lashes, wiggle, jiggle, and pull. Now I'm going to finish up with some concealer. So the Giorgio Armani, I just put it on my ring fingers. And that way I can just tap that right in and create a little bit of a lift in the face. And a little bit more brightness. If I have any extra, I can bring it down the center of my nose. I can tap a little bit on the chin if I want to as well. And I'm going to go back in with Lisa's #1 brush and also do some patting motions and make sure that everything is just blended in seamlessly. And then of course the last step is to powder. So I'm going to take my butter powder from Fenty. I already dispersed some in the cap. I'm going to take my 108 from BK Beauty and I'm just going to pat that right in wherever I don't want any extra shine. And that is the tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I think it's really fun to take inspiration from non-makeup sources if you find yourself in a rut or just to challenge your creativity. I do fashion videos every Wednesday, beauty videos every Friday. Make sure you are following me on Instagram and watching the shorts in between because there's lots of before and afters of makeup and lots of outfit inspiration to make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more glossy. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!